Hey, what's up, YouTube? Justin here, aka Black Obsidian Knight. I'm here to give you guys a Dark Magician deck profile. I went with this to San Jose Regional, didn't do that well with it, kind of scrubbed out, but it's okay. I still think Dark Magician has a really good matchup against the meta, especially Blue Eyes, since Blue Eyes is just another nostalgia deck, and I'm sure Dark Magician it has a pretty good matchup against it, especially with Circle and all that. Um, but yeah, other than that, let's just get into the deck profile. First, of course, we run 3 Dark Magician. It's a Dark Magician deck, and in Blue Eyes, you run 3 Blue Eyes, and it's just another nostalgia deck. So yeah, and then we play 3 Magician of Dark Illusion. This card really helps with the XC's plays. It acts as a Dark Magician on field, so it can work really well with Circle on your opponent's turn, just to disrupt their plays. And yeah, just an overall good card. Then we play 1 Magician of Dark Illusion. This doesn't break as much as you think. Like, it really works well with the deck. It really is just fought. It can be fought for like some draw power. You can really just discard it to the graveyard whenever you need to. And, it's just, and its effect, it's not as good as an original effect, of course, but the end phase effect is still pretty good just to get Regekius back at the end of the turn. Pretty powered. Then we play 3 Magician's Rod. It's the Searcher. You want to see this in your opening hand to like get your plays off, especially during your first turn. And during your opponent's turn, you can just bring itself back to your hand from the graveyard, so it can be ready for the next turn. And then we play 1 Kaiku. It's a dark spellcaster. You could have it for a Lord of Darkness. You can summon off Navigation, and it's just like an anti-meta card, just in case you need it. Then we play 1 Chocolate Magician Girl. She's really this card, you don't have to run this card. She's not like essential. It just really just works with the deck, just to kind of unbreak your hands. And her second effect is really just if your opponent doesn't know her effect, then they'll just attack into her. It's just really not that good. It's why I only play 1. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then we play 2 Maxi because Maxi is always good. 2 different rarities, but it's okay. And that's pretty much all the monsters. Let's get into the spells. First, we play the Bread and Butter. 3 Dark Magical Circle. This card is like so powerful. It's like what the deck actually needs. So if you don't know its effect, you look at the top 3 cards of your deck. You grab anything with a spell or trap with Dark Magician in its text, or Dark Magician himself. And then the second effect is every time you special summon a Dark Magician, once per turn you can banish a card on the field. Which that effect is really what gives this deck a competitive, or at least a rogue kind of feel to it. Because you can interrupt your opponent's plays a lot with that effect. You just have to know what to banish just to at least survive the turn, or just to like completely end your opponent's turn. So yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then we play 2 Illusion Magic. Illusion Magic, he's essentially the melody of the deck. You tribute a spellcaster to grab 2 Dark Magicians from your graveyard or your deck. So it's not only the Searcher, but you can also recycle Dark Magicians, so it can be there for Navigate. And then we play 2 Dark Magician's Veil. Dark Magic Veil, excuse me. You pay 1,000, special summon a Dark Spellcaster from either your graveyard or your hand. So in case you need get like Demog out your hand, you need to get him out back from the grave. It really works for that. And it's very good late game in my opinion. That's why I run 2. A lot of people just run 1, but I feel like a Monster Reborn is always good to run at multiples. If you pay 1,000 life points, but who cares? And it doesn't target, so you don't have to specify what you're special summoning from your hand or graveyard. So yeah, it's pretty good. They're going to play 1 Dark Magic Attack. I'm sure most of you know what Dark Magic Attack does. It's essentially just a heavy storm for Dark Magician, and it's pretty good. I don't know if I might run 2 when Eternal Soul comes out, because once you activate this, if you wreck your opponent's back row, you're just banishing the monsters with Dark Magician Circle if they can be targeted. So I feel just 1 is like a good number. Then we play 1 Dark Magic Expanded. Now this has a lot of effects. First effect, it essentially gives a Dark Spellcaster 1,000 attack, and then the second effect protects your spells and traps from being destroyed and responses by your opponent. And the third effect really protects your dark spellcaster, so it's pretty cool actually. It's a quick play, can be activated during the damage step, it can be chained to certain cards like Twin Twister. You know, it's an overall good card. You want to run one with it. You want to run one because it's searchable. You don't really want to brick with it. We don't have Succession yet, so you can't, you know. But yeah, next card is Dedication Land Darkness for D-Mock. This card can really help with the OTKs. It can help dodge certain things. You know, you can just D-Mock your opponent's end phase, get your spell back from your grave. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna run one Eye of Timaeus. Unfortunately, this card isn't searchable, but it's still power because the fusions can be very good in certain situations, especially against Blue Eyes. And then that's really all the spells for Dark Magician. For the generic spells, we run 3 Power Duality. You want to run 3 Power Duality because it's essentially just for your first turn. I mean, it could be for the later game too, because you play a lot on your opponent's turn, so you don't really need to special them during your turn. So yeah, it doesn't really hurt you as much as you think it would. Then we play 3 Allure of Darkness. Maximum consistency. You play a lot of dark monsters. You can pitch Kaiku. You could pitch maybe a Dead Rod. You could pitch D-Mock, or maybe you don't really want to ditch your Dark Magicians off of this. But if you really need to, you can. You might like at most you probably will just pitch 1. Actually, that's what I usually do. In desperate situations, you just have to pitch 2. Play 1 Wonder Wand. It's really just to get Rotting Grave, essentially, and just get a plus off of it. You know, it's not, you know, you don't have to run it, but I run it because I just like it, the card. Sacred Swords, running like 6 level 7s, Dark Magician, and Dark Magician of Dark Illusion. You don't really want to ditch Dark Magician, but if you will, you have to. So, and then we run Raigeki, power. And for the traps, we have 3 Magician's Navigate. The second part makes this deck power. What this card does, it spell summons a Dark Magician from hand, and it spell summons a level 7 or Dark Spellcaster from the deck. So that's why Dark Magician isn't dead in your hand anymore, and it can really swarm the field. It can really help with OTKs. It helps disrupt your opponent's plays with Circle. So it's an all around good card. And the second effect is what Rare can really shine. So when it's engraved, you can banish it to negate a face-up spell or trap, except the turn it was sent to the graveyard, which that's kind of unfortunate, but it's still kind of a good card. It can help negate Raigekis, it can help negate like some battle traps, it can help negate some pendulum cards if you need to. So that's what really makes this deck compete against the meta. And then we play the Solemn Duo, and then 1 Call the Haunted because we don't have Eternal Soul. I don't know how many I'm gonna run once it comes out. I haven't tested that yet, but Call the Haunted is really all around good card. There's another card where it sort of summons from the banish that you could run. I haven't tested that part out yet, but you guys can let me know how that goes. So yeah, that's the traps. We're gonna get into the side deck I use for the tournament. First we play 2 Kaijus. Oh, sorry. 2 Kaijus. The Kaijus, they're just always good to get over like monsters you can't really get over, like Dark Destroyer, the that exceeds that Super Quantums have. Any big monsters you need to get out the way. And I run this instead of Gameciel because I don't want to give my opponent a level 8 just to overlay with. And plus, if I just tribute one of my opponent's monsters, I have the other one in hand. It's a level 7, so I could use it for some Xyz plays if I wanted to. So yeah, that's why I run this, at least in this deck. And then we run 3 Ghost Ogre. Ghost Ogre, like since we got the reprint, it's just really good. You can stop some continuous spells. You can stop some pendulum cards. You can get rid of some tuners. Blue Eyes might have, so they can't synchro. This card is very versatile. So yeah, then we play 2 DD Crow, just to get some bandages off, in case you need to do that. DT, I really like the look of it, so yeah, pretty cool. And then we run 2 unwavering bonds for pendulums. Pendulums are still pretty relevant, unfortunately, but this card will, like, at least, you know, defend yourself against it. I didn't play any in the tournament, unfortunately, but, you know, it's whatever. 2 Stinging Dirge. This card is for pendulums, and it's also for trains, because, you know, trains are apparently a deck. So I just wanted to run these just in case, you know, unless they have skill drain. But it's just, if they have skill drain, it's not that bad anyway, because it's just like a whole bunch of exposed beaters. That's pretty much it. So, and then we play 3 Twin Twister, you know, mainly for demise or anything really that you want to get rid of with, you know, spells and traps. So yeah. And then we'll get into the extra deck. For Eye of Timaeus, we play these 2 fusions because these are the only 2 fusions. I'm pretty sure. This card is really good. I don't know why I keep turning him like that, but this card is really good because you can banish the Blue Eyes spells or anything that activates Engrave, like the Infernoid spell. You can just banish it, and he gains attack over it. And when he dies, he spells summons direct spellcaster from the graveyard. So he's a floater, he's a big beater, and he's just an all-around good card to me. And then Dark Paladin, he could really shine against Blue Eyes, because he gains 500 attack for each dragon on the field and in your opponent's grave. So that is absolute power. And he can negate spells during your opponent's turn. So he's a top deck Regeki or some Reborn card like Soul Charge, Gospel. You know, one of those, you can just boom negate it, and his effect is endless. So you can, as long as you have cards in your hand, you can negate spells, which is pretty power. And then we run the Ebon Brothers, 2 Illusion Magician and 2 High Magician. Excuse me, I'm sorry. This can really help with banishing a whole bunch of cards. Is when not only can you special summon a vanilla dark spellcaster from your deck or hand, but you can also special one. I mean, not special one, but when he attacks, he banishes a card on your opponent's field. So, which is pretty power, guys. And he is really just like a main phase 2 kind of card where you use overlay just to defend yourself or just to activate spells and traps from your hand, which is pretty powerful. You can even activate solemn cards from your hand with this card, which is so powerful. Like, you don't, like, people like really just underestimate this card. Like, it's so powerful. Like, when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, I have to find some way to abuse it. And then it's just generic rank 7s, Big Eye, Flare Metal, essentially just a cowboy for the deck. Master of Blaze. You really won't bring the other rank 7s out unless you really have to. Mega Phantom Beast. Yeah, you really won't bring these out a whole lot unless you really have to in an awkward situation. So yeah, but they're just in here just because. Then you run 1 Breaksword because he's level 3. Well, rank 3, I mean, and the rods are level 3. So in case I just have 2, I can just overlay for this and just get rid of my opponent's resources. When Utopic Future, just because I run so many rank 7s, if I just happen to have 2 on the field, I could just take my opponent's monsters. And these 3 monsters are really just for cherries, because I used to play cherries, and yeah, and you just to like wreck my opponent really, but you know, they're not essential. You can really run something else. But yeah, guys, that was the deck profile. Just remember, Dark Magician is power, and this card is so much better than Blue Eyes because Yugi used it. But yeah, that's pretty much the deck profile, guys. Just give me your opinions on it, see how you feel about it. Maybe even deck me if you want to. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.